Hello, everyone. Since the last Tuesday, the week has already passed, and we see each other traditionally at the presentations of nations again. Today, we will talk about Pakistan, which is maybe not the number one travel destination for most of the people, but today you will see why you should add this Asian country onto your travel list. But before we start, let me invite you to the Brno United Quiz Night. So if you would like to compete against the two other universities in Brno, this is your chance. The quiz will take place tomorrow, and you can find the link for the event and registration form in the Facebook or WhatsApp groups. Also, I want to remind you that the first week of the ESN Spring Run Challenge will finish soon, but still you can join the ESN Club on the Strava tracking app and compare your results with other Erasmus students and maybe even challenge yourself to get better. And last but not least, the Erasmus in schools will take place next week. So if you have some free time, then do not hesitate and talk about your country, culture, and traditions, or about how awesome Erasmus is with some local Czech high school students. All the necessary info you can also find at the Facebook or WhatsApp groups. And finally, that's it for today's ESN info. And let's now switch to the presentation about Pakistan with Hazik.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Hazik Mahmood, and I will be presenting my country, Pakistan, to you guys today. I am studying, let me give a brief introduction about myself. I am studying graphics and multimedia in FIT department at BRNO University of Technology. And today I've been given chance to introduce my country to you guys because I guess most of the people here won't know about Pakistan or how beautiful is Pakistan or how culturally different is Pakistan from other European countries. So I will take you through to the different cultures and different traditions and different landscapes of the Pakistan. We'll start the presentation with the geographical location of the Pakistan. Let's begin. So here you can see Pakistan is basically located in South Asia. South Asia, Pakistan neighbors with India, Afghanistan, Iran, China, and it also shares its borders with Indian Ocean. This is a 3D map of Pakistan where I have tried to show you guys the landscape of Pakistan. Up to the north, there are some snowy mountains and glaciers. These are one of the oldest glaciers of the world. And then there are green fields. Pakistan is basically an agricultural country, so the rest of the part is basically agricultural land, and then there are a few deserts in Pakistan, and then at the very end, it's Indian Ocean with some coastal lines and some beautiful beaches. Okay, let me explain a bit about geolocation. As I already mentioned, it's in South Asia. The total land is of 8,81,913 kilometers square. The capital of Pakistan is Islamabad. It has five provinces: Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, KPK, and Gilgit-Baltistan. Okay, now about Pakistan. Pakistan came into being on 14th of August 1947. Pakistan is the first state that was introduced on the basis of religion. Pakistan is fifth most populous country. I guess we really like to reproduce with the population exceeding around 215 million now, and has second largest Muslim population. The first largest is, I guess, Indonesia, and Pakistan is 33rd largest country by area. Okay, bit about Pakistan. First thing is Pakistan doesn't have much of industry production, but Pakistan is a very agricultural country. We produce wheat, corn, maize, sugarcane, cotton, and lots of fruits. The official language of Pakistan is Urdu, but most of the communication is in Urdu and English. There are many languages in Pakistan, for example, Punjabi, Pashto, Saraiki, Sindhi, Balochi, but they vary region to region. Every region has their own language, or it also varies in accent. In some region, Urdu is spoken in a different accent, and in other regions, Urdu is spoken in any other accent. The currency of Pakistan is Pakistani rupee, and the national sports of Pakistan is hockey. Ibex is actually the national animal of Pakistan. It is called Mar Khor in Urdu, and it's, I guess, Ibex in English. And the last point would be Pakistan is one of few countries which has everything. It has a sea, a beach, a coastal line. It also has mountains. It has agricultural lands. It has glaciers, and it also has its own deserts. Okay, now I'm going to tell you brief about the history of the Pakistan. Before 1947, it was called subcontinent Pakistan and India and Bangladesh. These three countries were living together in one part of subcontinent, and they were ruled by East India British Company. We were ruled by United Kingdom. On August 14, 1947, it was decided that Pakistan and India should be divided, and being Muslim majority, the Muslims of India or the other part of subcontinent decided to join Pakistan, and rest of the people who were basically from other religion, per se Hindus, they decided to be in India. So Pakistan had two parts. First one was the actual Pakistan, and then there was another Pakistan that was called East Pakistan, and that was actually now known as Bangladesh. Uh, we have fought many wars with India. We have a kind of rivalry with India. It's mostly political, and nowadays, only politicians fight in both countries over some petty issues. But the people from both nations, they are really close to each other. And even in Europe, if I would meet an Indian, we'll be like brothers. So that's the kind of relationship we have outside of our countries. But in our country, because of political situation and some border situation, there's always tension. In 1965, we had another war with India. In 1971, there was a civil war, some political issues. So the East Pakistan decided to separate, and they emerged as another country that is called Bangladesh these days. And I've met many Bangladeshi people here, and they were quite good to me, and I was quite good to them. So all in the past, and Pakistan is basically the only Muslim country that has nuclear power. Quite dangerous, but as it's said everywhere, we have nuclear power for energy purpose. So Pakistan tested successfully conducted 5 nuclear tests in 1998. Okay, so next one is language. Actually, I didn't know that much about Urdu language before this presentation. Now I came to know that Proto-Semitic is considered the earlier language, and then Arabic was derived from this uh, language. It's basically a script, a writing script, a way of writing language. Arabic was derived from this script, and after that, from Arabic, Persian was derived from Arabic, and Urdu is basically derived from Persian. So that's how the history of Urdu goes. As you can see, these are the alphabets of Urdu. I would like to pronounce few. The first one is Alif, second one is Ba, third one is Ta, Sa, Jeen. That's how it goes. Okay, and so how would I say how are you in Urdu? It will be like aap kaise ho, and how will I say thank you in Urdu? It will be like aapka shukriya. Okay, So now I would like to mention some interesting facts about Pakistan. So Pakistan has one of the oldest civilizations in this in some of the cities. There are remains of some of the older civilization that goes 6,000 BCE. And Pakistan has because it is an agricultural country, so it has largest irrigation and canal system. And not many of you know, but somewhere, someplace, if you play football, you might have kicked one of the football that was manufactured in Pakistan, because Pakistan actually exports more than half of the footballs of world. Every football that is used in FIFA is actually produced in Pakistan, manufactured in Pakistan. World's first PC virus was created by two brothers in Pakistan back in 90s. Then Pakistan also has world's second highest mountain, that is K2. And Pakistan also has world's highest road, the highest altitude of the road, and highest ATM machine. It's an interesting fact, Scott. I should mention this. And then Pakistan also possesses second largest salt mines. And another good and interesting fact is because I've seen in Europe and other developed countries, medical care is quite expensive. But in Pakistan, Pakistan holds world's largest volunteer ambulance service. It was started with one guy, and he has now 300 centers all over the country, and they provide free ambulance service to any needy person. Then Pakistan has largest man-made forest, and there are two people from Pakistan who got Nobel Peace Prize. First one was in physics, and then second one was a girl for women activism. And then Pakistan also holds largest seaport in Gwadar. Okay, these are the pictures of the oldest civilization. One of them is called Mohenjo-daro, and the other one is called Harappa. These are the old names of these civilizations. They have been preserved and kept in as better position as they can be. But if you visit them, you would see how the people before us used to live, what was their culture, how was their homes built, and stuff like that. These are a few pictures showing that Pakistan is an agriculture country. There is a guy standing in the field of wheat, and then on the right side, there is a small canal or a stream. That's how we water our fields. Okay, so these beautiful and colorful pictures are of salt mine. On the left side, there is a pond of water, salty water actually. And anything you see in these pictures is all salt, nothing else. In the second picture, it looks like a glacier, but it is not a glacier. It's actually a salt mine and salt dripping from the roof of the mine. Okay, so about our food. We actually love food and we live to eat. We love to eat and we live to eat. Our cuisines are basically uh, filled with spices, filled with oil. It's not refined oil, it's actually called ghee in our native language, which is basically, you can say, in a way, a butter. So we add all spices and butter in all our cuisines and in all our dishes. We love spicy food. Since I came here, I've noticed that people here don't, they are not fond of spices that much. So whenever I'm cooking here and I have someone with me, I have to make sure that when I cook, I put less spices in my meal, and then after serving them, then I can add spices as compared to my taste, as per my taste. Okay. So now I'm going to explain some of the dishes, some of the major or prominent dishes in Pakistan. This one is called nihari. Nihari is basically candy of chicken, meat, or chicken, or mutton, or it can be of beef. It's basically pieces of meat with spices and some of common herbs. Uh, and they are mixed and they are cooked for a very long time until the meat is kind of uh, feathery and gets fibrous look. And then it is served with chapati and bread. Okay, the second one that is most commonly eaten in Pakistan is biryani. It's a rice dish. It's basically rice made with chicken or mutton or beef. Pakistan is a non-vegetarian country. I have hardly seen any vegetarian people in Pakistan, so we love to eat meat. And the next dish is tikka and kebabs. You guys might have heard about kebabs, but it's basically tikka and kebab is barbecue in our language. So barbecue is done everywhere, but we have some different recipes of barbecue. We don't put spices. We cook. Sometimes we put spices in them to just enhance the taste, but most of the time, the barbecue of lamb or mutton or beef is cooked only with salt. Okay, and the next one is halim. Halim is basically a cuisine that is again made with a lot of effort. It is made with chicken, mutton, and beef. We cook it at the point when the beef is mixed with all the spices and there is no trace of meat in it. It actually gets mixed with the cuisine. And it is served with lemon and some green chili. And then there is another dish called kadahi. So basically, kadahi is cooking chicken in our style. Uh, Chicken is cooked everywhere, steaks and burgers, but kadahi is basically traditional Pakistani dish where chicken is cooked without any cuisine or I would say uh, anything else but just few spices and few green chilies and some coriander. Okay, so it says kuch meetha ho jaye in Urdu. That means let's have something sweet. Meetha is sweet in Urdu. The first one is jalebi. Jalebi, as you can see, the round circly thing. This is one of the sweet dishes in Pakistan. And then there is gulab jamun. And the third one is kheer. And the fourth one is a sweet. It can be sweet, it can be salty. It's called lassi. It's basically, uh, in English, it is called buttermilk. That's one name of it, but we call it lassi in Pakistan. And it's made with yogurt, milk, and some sugar and some salt. Okay, now I would like to show some of the traditions or present some of the traditions that we have in Pakistan. As I've mentioned earlier, that Pakistan came into being on the base of religious beliefs, the difference in religious beliefs. So Pakistan is basically a Muslim country, and you might have heard that Muslims celebrate Ramadan every year. So how it goes, we fast for 30 days. It starts with 2 hours before the sunrise. We eat 2 hours before sunrise, and then we don't eat and don't drink anything. And it goes till the sunset. And at the sunset, we eat and drink. Between that, we don't drink anything and we don't eat anything. Actually, Ramadan is coming very soon, so I'll be fasting for 30 days from starting from I guess 14th of April. Yeah, in about 6 or 8 days, I'll be fasting too. The basic purpose of staying hungry and not eating or drinking anything for the whole day is to teach that uh, uh, despite having everything, you have to have strength and you have to look after for the poor who cannot eat or who cannot, enjoy daily life. needs as we can. So that is the basic purpose of Ramadan. There are many other things in Ramadan that I can go and on about. But at the end of Ramadan, for staying hungry for a whole month, we celebrate on the 31st day, we celebrate Eid, that is called Eid al-Fitr. It's basically a gathering, meeting everyone, eating sweet dishes, cooking, and a festive kind of feeling. And after that, there's another Eid that is Eid al-Adha, and we celebrate that about 2.5 months after Eid al-Fitr. And basically, it is the day of sacrifice. And the story goes back to the Ibrahimic region. But I will not go into that story. It is the tradition that we celebrate in Pakistan. And now I would like to explain a bit about our dresses. So our dresses in Pakistan are very traditional. The traditional dress in Pakistan is called kameez shalwar. It is same for both women and men. They both wear kameez shalwar in Pakistan, as you can see in the picture. So it's like a long shirt with full sleeves, and then in the trouser is kind of uh, flurry and bit extended, bigger than a pant. So you'll get the idea from the picture. Okay, the next is music. In Pakistan, there are different kinds of music. There are pop stars, and then there's some our own hip hop. There are some rap stars from Pakistan who are very famous. But our traditional music is basically Qawwali singing. Qawwali is basically, you could say, folk music. Uh, it's kind of spiritual music, and in the picture, you can see the guy. He is no more with us. He was our old singer. He's called Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, and he was famous worldwide for his Qawwali singing. Qawwali is basically our folk or spiritual songs that was sung by him. And then dance. So dancing is not really our thing. We don't dance that much, but we do have one traditional dance, two or three traditional dance. And one of them is Bhangra, as you can see in the picture. These people are doing Bhangra. It's just the movement of hands on the beats of an instrument called dhol. In a moment, I'll play a video where you can see the beats of the dhol, and I'm sure you'll enjoy those beats. And then we'll talk about dhol after the video. Okay, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys cannot dance to this beat or cannot groove to this beat, I really have no hope for you guys. Okay, moving forward. Okay, move to the next slide. Now, I will talk about a bit of sports. Sports as a healthy activity. Uh, there are many sports played in Pakistan. Some of them are traditional and some of them are internationally recognized. Uh, the most played sport in Pakistan is actually cricket, despite hockey being its national sports. But cricket is played uh, quite widely in Pakistan. We have international cricket team. We have won a World Cup, and Cricket World Cup is just like a FIFA World Cup. And after football, cricket is actually the most watched sports. And then after cricket and hockey, there is another traditional sport that we play, which is called kabaddi. So you guys might know about cricket and hockey, but kabaddi would be something new to you. Kabaddi is actually uh, said to be a game of strong men. As you can see in the picture, all of these guys are giants. So what how they play is there is a field. Both teams are on either side of the fields, and there is a line at the center of the field. So one guy goes to the other team, and then he has to actually touch one of the guy from the other team, and then come back and cross the line, and he doesn't have to get caught. And there is a time limit of 30 seconds. He has to go into their area, touch them, and then come back in those 30 seconds. If he does that, he gets 2 points. And if he doesn't do that, if he gets caught and couldn't escape from there, then he loses 2 points, and 2 points are given to the other team. So that's how it's played, and it's actually a traditional sport of Pakistan that is played in some rural areas and some urban areas as well. We also have international kabaddi team, and the last World Cup was of kabaddi was won by Pakistan. Okay, now I'm going to show you a bit of scenery of Pakistan because at the start of the presentation, it was mentioned that Pakistan may not be one of the top destinations for many tourists. But it actually is if you are an adventurer and if you are a tourist. Pakistan was actually ranked in 2018 and in 2016, Pakistan was ranked sixth best tourist location to visit. Uh, the picture right now I'm showing you is basically a cold desert. You have seen deserts that are warm, full of heat, and no plantation at all. But in a city called Skardu, there is a cold desert which is between the mountains, and it has snow as well. You can do beach rally there, you can go camping, you can spend days there, and it's really amazing. Okay, the next one are these are the northern areas of Pakistan. We saw the map earlier where there were glaciers and some mountains up north in the Pakistan. So this is basically the north side of the Pakistan, which is full of mountains, greenery, lakes, and waterfalls and stuff like that. So the picture that you are seeing currently, it is basically called Rati Gali. Gali means street or a passage, and Rati means red in local language. Uh, in spring, when spring is on full bloom, the whole valley is red from red because of red flowers in the valley. So that's how it got named Rati Gali. And the next picture is actually of Karakoram Highway. That is basically the highest paved road in the world, and it is going straight for China. So there is a road in the Pakistan that goes straight from the mountains to China, and it has breathtaking views. This is another picture of the same road. Another one. This is actually the end of the border, and after that, it's China. Okay, so this is the highest mountain, the second highest actually. The first one is Mount Everest, and the second highest, K2. It's in Pakistan. Many expeditions are done here. Many people from many countries who are fond of mountain climbing, they come to Pakistan to try their luck at K2. Uh, some of them reach to the top, some of them don't, and sadly, some of them don't even come back. Okay, so the next picture is Shangri-La Resort. It's also in northern area of Pakistan, full of clear water lakes and resorts all around the lake. And if you are willing to go and enjoy a fresh view where you can see clear water with some beautiful fishes in the water and some breathtaking mountain views, you should put Shangri-La Resorts on your list. There's another picture of Shangri-La Resort. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some of the major cities in Pakistan. Being a Pakistani, to me, there are many major cities in Pakistan, but I will only mention three of them here. The first one is capital, that is Islamabad. So capital, it is actually right next to the mountain area. Uh, so after Islamabad, the northern area of Pakistan, which has all the scenery and mountains, it starts. And the most prominent thing in this picture is actually one of the biggest mosques in the world. It is Faisal Mosque, and um, it can hold a prayer of around 100,000 people at one time. So it is called Faisal Mosque. This is one of the prominent thing in the capital, Islamabad. And the next one is my city, that is Lahore. In the left picture, the building, the tall building you can see, it's not actually a building, it's a monument, and it is called Minare Pakistan. And it was built in 1945 when Muslims in subcontinent thought, okay, now we're getting somewhere, now we will have our own country. So it was built then. And on the second picture, there is a road map. I just wanted to show off my city. Okay, and the last major city, which is actually biggest city in Pakistan with respect to land and with respect to population as well, is Karachi. The view you are seeing right now is actually a beach. Is not clean uh, in normal days, but because of COVID, there is no one on beach. It's empty. Uh, it's really sad to see, but that's how it is. Now, I'm going to show you a video clip that I have created for you. It's from some of my trips and some of my friends' trips. It's basically a scenery or a landscape of Pakistan shown in a video. So let's watch that video, and after that, we'll come back and we'll end that presentation. I won't bore you. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. That was it from my side. That was Pakistan from my side. There are so many things that I can tell you about Pakistan, and I can go on and on about all these things, even one picture or one topic. But it would take so much time, and I tried my best to, show everything and present everything, and present best of the best of Pakistan that I could. Um, through my presentation. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.
So, thank you, Hazik, for a lovely presentation about Pakistan. And that is actually everything for today. So, I hope you all in our today's audience enjoyed it as well as me. And I hope to see you again next week at another presentation of nations. And also, I would like to remind you that if you wanted to deliver the presentation about your country next week, don't be shy and let us know. So until then, stay safe and healthy, and have a nice rest of the evening, and see you next week.